Thank you, Komala.
we walked into there a little scrambled, so forgive us as we're stabilizing here. But really, it's important for us that you guys all know that we want to be here for each other, for you, and for many people that are out there and need the support. And we believe that we have incredible tools within our network of guides and people, as well as our clients that could be beneficial from using this.
So that being said, our core offering is one-on-one guidance with our incredible guides, all of which you've met, 21 here the last 21 days. And maybe you've never worked one-on-one with a coach. Maybe you have, maybe you've done group settings like this. But if you're curious what we're about or what it's like to work with a guide, or maybe looking for a guide, you can hop on a call with me at any time. I will drop the link in the chat, and I would love to hear from you. Maybe match you with a guide, or see if there's other resources that we can share with you. So
yeah, so this is the plan is, and I think we kind of asked that a couple of nights ago, who is interested in continuing that on a weekly basis? Hey Larry, and we're going to continue that every Tuesday, same time, same place. Would love to see you. We haven't even curated content yet. We're going to start doing that tomorrow morning and figure out what is it going to look like. Probably a very similar format, but it is important for us that we continue with this community. And if you feel like you want to invite others, let us know. We'll figure out a way to include them. Really, with the end for at this point, for no charge, we'll have to figure out down the road how do we really balance the economics of it. But yeah.
And let us know if there's topics that you're interested in going deeper in. We curated the 21 days with the journey in mind, but now that we're going to be co-creating this together, we would love to hear what you would like to learn more about and become immersed in. We have 100 incredible guides as part of our community, and would love to tap into them to share knowledge and wisdom with you guys.
Yeah, so I think we plan on having an integration work with Komala, and then a closing ceremony with Rebecca, and then do a little play with words maybe towards the end to kind of tap in and see what did we co-created here in terms of experience. So I'm really excited about this, and I don't want to waste more time. Komala, you want to lead us?
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're going to do what we do at the beginning of every week one more time, which is we're going to go into a practice. And so I want to ring this bell and invite you to get ready to go within. I want to invite you to find a comfortable position. You can allow your eyes to be softly open or closed, perhaps lowering your gaze, whichever feels right to you now. And as we settle into this reflective practice, begin with welcoming your body, begin with welcoming your presence. Noticing yourself seated. And allowing your breath to settle. Notice how your breath is flowing in and out of your body as your chest is lifting and relaxing. And as this awareness deepens, you might allow for your body to settle into a sense of steadiness, restfulness, yet remaining alert. Remembering that sense of welcoming yourself, that sense of belonging. Taking a few deep breaths now, in through the nose, out from the mouth. Allowing the in-breath to enliven your body and allowing a sense of relaxation to deepen on the out-breath. Few deep diaphragmatic breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bringing your body alive on the in-breath, relaxing and letting go of tension on the out-breath. Today we're celebrating the completion of the Reclaim Yourself retreat together. And as we do this, let's take a few moments to lock in our learning. Revisiting week 1, letting go. What did you learn about letting go? What were highlights of this week for you? What did you let go of? Is there something that you want to continue letting go of in your life? And if yes, what is that? In week 2, we focus on nurturing ourselves. What did you learn in the second week about nurturing yourself? What were highlights of that week for you? And what are you going to move forward? How are you going to continue nurturing yourself? This last week, week 3, we focused on going within. What was significant to you about week 3? Was there something that you discovered that was new to you about going within? Did you set up a regular practice for yourself? How are you going to continue the momentum of going within, setting that time aside for yourself in the coming days and weeks? And then I'd like to invite you to get something to write with. Maybe you want to get that page where it says day 21 in your journal. And let's kind of take a few notes about what you just discovered. What did you discover about letting go? And what are you continuing to let go of? What is important about letting go? What did you learn in week 2 about nurturing yourself? Were there highlights for you in week 2? What are good ways for you to continue that journey of nurturing yourself? This last week was about going within, and we're looking at ways, that we can set time aside for ourselves to be with ourselves. What were your main takeaways from this last week? Are there any commitments that you want to set for yourself about your meditation practice going forward? What would you like to implement in your life? Shannon, would you be ready to share the Wheel of Life with us? And I have it here. If you want to give me sharing abilities, I can also do it. Whichever is easier.
You have sharing abilities, so whichever is easiest.
Oh, great. Awesome. Here we go. So on day 1, we looked at this Wheel of Life. And, if you have it there in your notes, that's great. And if not, you can also use the one that you're seeing on the screen. You rated yourself in different areas. And, on the first day of the retreat, we picked 3 areas that you wanted to focus on. Now, I would like you to have a second look at the wheel and see whether something has shifted for you, especially in those 3 areas that you set out to work on. Has your wheel become a little bit more even? What results are you celebrating after these 3 weeks? And I can tell you, my garage looks spotless. This was one of my main goals for the 3 weeks. It took me a while to complete it, but it was a really big deal. So what results are you celebrating when you look at this wheel? Have the 3 areas increased? And take another look at the wheel. Is there an area that you feel you want to continue focusing on? I stopped sharing with you. I'm gonna, in a moment, we're going to go into breakout rooms, and Shannon, can you prepare what breakout rooms for? I think 3 people would be great. And we're going to go into 3 breakout rooms, and I know we all love sharing with each other. And the first one, I kind of find it. The first one we're going to have about 7 minutes. We're going to share about what is your understanding of letting go, and how are you going to continue on this journey. And I'm going to copy the job and put it in the break in the chat for everybody, so that we remember what that's about. What do you understand about letting go, and how are you going to continue this journey of letting go in your life? And we're going to have about 7 minutes, so 2 minutes or something like that for each person. And I'm ready whenever, Shannon.
Okay, I'm ready.
Awesome. Cool.
She must not be joining.
She went to bring the lighter.
Oh, okay. If there is, I think there's one in there, so.
She said she saw a lighter.
You want to join the room? Actually, I'm not sure if I know how to join the room. Maybe if we click the room. Oh, yeah.
Sure. Oh, I feel like it's pretty well balanced. Just this one, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Join here.
Sure.
There she is. Still join?
I think so.
Sure. So I become very aware. Hello.
I'm going to do. Again, I'm going to put the job for the next breakout room in the chat. Name 3 things that you have discovered about nurturing yourself, and how are you going to move them forward? And let's have about 5 minutes for this next breakout room.
All right. Same rooms?
Maybe a different one,
Okay.
if that's possible, if it's not too much for
Yeah,
you.
I don't think it's too much. Just,
Awesome.
let me see. It's giving me recreate, add room, or open all rooms.
Yes.
Okay.
Recreate.
Recreate does this. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Nope.
So I'm just going to say it again. Name 3 things that you have discovered about nurturing yourself, and how are you moving them forward?
Opening rooms now. Eric and Lindley are together again.
Oh,
Eric and Lindley. Oh, let me pause recording.
And I want to say something about this question. For some of us, it can be a formal practice where we practice with a certain meditation. For others of us, it can be forest bathing, or tuning in, or sitting silently, or reading a book. How will you nurture that space of going in forward? What is a good time frame for you to set aside? When during the day is a good time for you? What are you going to implement to nurture that space of going inside? What's fun for you? And if you want to give us a 3rd breakout room for another 5 minutes.
wonder if we joined. Oh, okay. I joined Komala and Lindley.
Hmm.
That's awesome. Do you want to join or?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so these 3 breakout rooms, to be able to exchange with each other. And, here's some of your absolutely amazing results. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Shannon and Amir.
Yes. And we're just going to introduce Rebecca.
Yeah.
So
We before we do that, I
Yeah.
just gotta say we're moved. I mean, we jumped into different rooms and we heard some, and I have literally goosebumps about what turned into this, with this group of people over 21 days. And I do know that it's been a lot of content and a lot of materials, and you have access to it. I don't know, for a year, I think, or
Mhm.
however,
Yeah.
and go back, listen to it. I'm going to do that. So it's really exciting.
And we've heard from a few people now that they're revisiting the content first thing in the morning. It's a really nice 20-30 minute way to start the day. And I could not agree more. So this is our last 21-minute guide of the Reclaim Yourself Retreat. Rebecca Prephan. She holds a degree in psychology and marriage and family therapy. Also currently pursuing a doctorate in psychology with an emphasis on consciousness, spirituality, and integrative health. She is a seeker of truth, a black belt in karate, and she facilitates workshops and circles incorporating spiritual insight, intuitive teaching, somatic embodiment, and psychology for groups and individuals. And she is going to share with us ritual and healing, and we're very excited. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon and Amir. Well, what I'd like to do first is just allow one another to just sit for a moment and connect with our breath. Your natural rhythm of how you breathe. As you breathe in and breathe out. Good. And just allow yourself to come back. Good. Ritual entices the senses. It ignites passions and it opens the heart in mysterious ways. Author unknown. I found that quote and I found it so appropriate. And in doing ritual, and when we do this together, it creates a binding force that's much stronger than if we were to do it just alone. Although doing a daily routine of ritual is very powerful, but when we are collectively in a space joined together, it creates a magical experience. So what I'd like to do before we begin is I work with energy and mysticism, and I work with the universal law. So I'm going to call in our protectors, our spirit teams, and also the energies of the 4 directions, so that as we proceed with the work that we're going to do in the sacred space, we've allowed a more powerful synchronistic energy to flow in of the people who actually guide us and protect us on our journey here. So go ahead and allow yourselves to close your eyes. And when you hear me say, "So it is done," all you have to do is just verbally repeat that out loud softly. And I will say, so it is done at the end when I call in spirit and call in our teams as we each have one. And then throughout our journey together. Calling in the 4 directions of the east, calling in the eagle with the route to our spirit, calling in the south with the mouse, with the route to our intuition, connected to the ground and the earth, calling in the energy of the west, the grizzly bear, connection in the route to the physical body, and calling in the energy of the north, the buffalo, where we are aligned with a higher wisdom as we move forward with clarity, while we're no longer bound to the old paradigms and the ways of seeing things, because we now have the ability to see clearly. Calling in our spirit teams, the angels, the masters, and the ascended masters, the ancestors that have passed before us, and those that walk on this journey with us together. We ask for your protection and your surrounding in the sacred space of circle as we bring this 21-day journey full circle and we do the completion work together. Taking breath in and out. So it is done. So as you are in this sacred space, you have now just entered into the 21st day of a commitment to yourself. This commitment of 21 days has been a form of ritual. It has been a form of logging in your preparation in joining Guidely during the 21 minutes each day. That is a process of ritual. Then turning on the computer and logging in and learning and being guided and having these moments has been the process within the ritual. We use ritual to create an agreement between ourselves and the power of the universe. And when we create this agreement, it allows for us to manifest the things that we want into our lives, as well as release the things that no longer serve us. And when we do it together in partnership with the creative energy of the universe, it does create this binding force that is much stronger than ourselves. Ritual is an ancient practice. It dates back thousands of years. And just as we hold muscle memory, like we learned how to catch a ball and throw a ball, our mind holds cellular data that dates back centuries. And when we are prompted on an unconscious level, maybe something triggers us or makes us feel a certain way, what's really occurring is a subconscious reaction. And when we're subconsciously reacting to something, we're acting unconsciously. We're not aware of our behavior. We're just reacting to something. And when we're reacting to something, that means we are not present. We're not present with ourselves. And this is what ritual does. It allows us to come back to presence with our being, with our thoughts, with our mind, with our body, and with our spirit. And what ritual does is it bridges the gap between our conscious mind, which is the mind that thinks, it assesses, it creates, to our unconscious mind, which is the aspect of ourselves that holds all the mystery and all the memories and all of the things that we've done throughout this lifetime and even beyond. So by bridging that gap, it illuminates this thread of something new, or maybe even something deeply familiar. And when we can illuminate something that feels deeply familiar, we're connecting our mind and our unconscious mind. And in between that is actually the spirit. It's actually the aspect of ourselves that moves us with imagination and passion. It's the aspect of self that we trust. It's where our intuition lives. And intuition is the part of ourselves that is innate. We have to trust it, but in order to trust it, we have to shed everything else that doesn't serve us. So whether we realize it or not, we embark on ritual each day. Some of us wake up, we grab the phone, we scroll social media, and suddenly we are lost in other people's thoughts and no longer our own. So we want to regroup that. We want to realign ourselves. We want to structure the intention of how we operate, what we do. And that's what we're going to do this evening. And that's what you've been doing during the 21 days. So why ritual? Because it heals. It heals trauma. It sheds the shadow aspect of ourselves, the things that have been unhealed are triggers. And it reveals truth. And it allows us to move forward in a space that is incredibly powerful and a connection with ourselves that we may not have currently. A quick story: when I was, it was 2008, 2009, the economy was crashing. I lost my business. I lost my home and I lost my relationship. I was in such despair. I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't know where to place it. All I knew was I was overwhelmed by these feelings and by these emotions that felt like it had control over everything that I did. So what I did was I put it somewhere, and I put it in ritual. And every day I sat with myself, I lit candles, I burned incense, and I created a deeper relationship with me. And after doing that over time, it realigned me with myself. And then things began to flow in a new direction. So what I'd like to do is I'd like you to grab your candle and I'd like you to grab your incense. I have a shoelace. That works just fine. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just take a moment with yourself. You should have matches as well. And I'd like you to set an intention for yourself. That intention could be for your bright space, or it could be moving forward. So just allow yourself to meet yourself exactly where you're at and set that intention. And when you have it, go ahead and write it down. And once you have it written down, I want you just to hold it in your mind's eye for a moment. And when you're ready, I'd like you to open your eyes and light your candle, holding this intention in mind. And anyone who does not have a candle, I am lighting on behalf of you as well. So I'm holding space for everyone in the circle as well. Beautiful. Now, what I'd like you to do is grab your incense or your sage or your Palo Santo. And from the candle, if possible, I'd like you to go ahead and light your incense with the candle. When we burn incense or sage or Palo Santo, what it does is it clears the energy in the room. Good. Okay, so what I'd like you to do with that incense is I just want you to spiral it around. Just move it around, and what it's doing is it is clearing the energy or any stagnant energy in the room. And when we light incense, it also realigns and opens up our heart chakra. Do we have some smoke alarms going off?
Not yet, but we're trying not to.
So allowing yourself to just breathe in the essence of the incense. Go ahead and set it down. Place your hands on your heart. And just allow your heart center to open. Good. And just breathing energy into your heart and exhaling. Now, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and grab a pen and paper. And I'd like you to take a moment to honor the person that entered into the 21 days. What was happening in your life? How are you feeling? Maybe it's a thought, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a symbol, but go ahead and jot that down. Now I'd like you to consider one thing that needs to be released from your life or let go. Maybe it's a habit, maybe it's a situation, maybe it's negative self-talk, whatever it is, just take a moment and write that down. Great. Now, recognize one aha moment you had during the last 21 days. Maybe it was something you heard from a guide. Maybe it was a new thought that ensued. Just take a moment to connect with that and write it down. And now I'd like you to consider one thing that you want to attract into your life in the very near future. What is it that you want to bring into your life sooner than later? Maybe it's a symbol, maybe it's a word, maybe it's an image of some sort. Whatever it is, go ahead and write that down. Don't judge it, trust it. Great. Now, what is the highest vision for yourself? If you had everything that you needed, if you had all the tools, what would that highest vision be? Just take a moment and write it down. Don't judge it, trust it. Okay. Now I'd like you to grab your string. Now I want you to hold in your mind's eye with your eyes closed. I want you to reflect on that person that you were 21 days ago. You're honoring that person exactly as you were entering into this space. I'd like you to go ahead and tie a knot for that person 21 days ago. Beautiful. Now I'd like you in your mind's eye to reflect on the one thing that you are really ready to let go of. What no longer serves you? Honor that. Breathe energy into that. Connect with your breath. And I'd like you to tie a knot for that. Now, the one aha moment, that idea, something the guide said, whatever it was, can hold that in your mind's eye. Let's honor that for a moment. And now go ahead and tie a knot for that aha moment. Now, what is the one thing that you intend to bring into your life in the near future? Just for you. Go ahead and hold that in your mind's eye. Let's honor that. Good. Now go ahead and tie a knot for what you're bringing into your life in the near future. Now, your highest vision. What does that look like? I want you to see that picture in your mind's eye. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, and I really want you to feel that. I want you to feel the essence of what that looks like. How that makes you feel. Who's around you? As you're surrounded by loved ones. Or nature. Let's honor that by tying a knot, your final knot. Now I'd like you to hold this string in the palm of your hands, honoring the past, the present, and the future. I'd like you to consider the energy that you are putting into this. And this is a reflection of the work you've done and where you're going. So with me, I'd like you to take a deep breath in, and then I want you to blow the energy through your hands like a big breath of air. So go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. As we blow that energy into the universe, it connects to the energies of the universal law. We welcome and attract all things that do serve us on the highest level for the highest good of all involved. Let's hold this string to our heart. Honor yourself. Honor one another. Honor the guides. Shannon and Amir. Komala. And back to yourself. Recognize the commitment and the journey that you've been on. Good. Now with your hands on your heart and your eyes closed, I'd like to end with this quote. What you seek is seeking you. Rumi. So it is done. Our work is done.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. Ooh, my goodness, Rebecca. Can we, even though we're done, can we all honor Rebecca in gratitude?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was beautiful and powerful.
Very powerful.
Wow.
I don't feel like this is right
No.
anymore.
No, I feel like we had some thoughts of closing with the mentee word dropping. I feel that everything is, I feel like this was a perfect knot to our 21 days.
Mhm. So
Thank
beautiful.
So,
So do we want to open it for sharing? This was really beautiful.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who's sharing this space with us. It's been just as much of a learning and growing and healing time for us hosting this. And I'm very grateful for each one of you.
So would love for you guys to, anybody who wants to open the mic, say something. We are, I think, 6 minutes from our promised time, so we have a few minutes. We're not going to do the words thing. So yes, Larry.
I just want to say that this has been the most amazing journey of the last 21 days. I did miss a few nights, but I did go back and watch some of the videos, and I will be watching them again. Rebecca's closing tonight was amazing and awesome, and it felt wonderful. The biggest challenge I had with that is, since I live in an RV, candles are kind of like a no-no. So I faked it with a lighter.
I got you, Larry.
Thank you. But I'm in a very different place than I was 21 days ago, and I appreciate everything that everyone has said, and it's been an awesome journey. And thank you very much.
Thank you. It was wonderful to have you as part of this, and we look forward to continue to host you as we move forward. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Komala, I could not be in deeper gratitude for you leading us through the opening ceremony, the weekly integration, the integration for the 3 weeks, for guiding us before we started this. It's been really amazing. You've been an incredible influence on us and teacher. Really grateful for that. Thank you for the guides who are here with us today and have been with us throughout the 21 days. Thank you, Rebecca, for this closing ceremony. Thank you, Shannon, for magically, really, Shannon has a magic wand. The way you curated and placed all the guides, it's like incredible. Could have not done any other way. So it really was miraculous. So I want to share with you that I started this with doubt and fear. How is it going to work out? What is it going to be like? I don't know. And I'm closing this with a sense of knowing that we're doing the right thing. So deep sense of knowing. And gratitude. So thank you so much, everybody. You feel free to unmute, and we'll say good night. Thank you, Paula.
So much gratitude. Thank you, Shannon and Amir. Thank
you, Shannon and Amir. It has been
Thank
a
you so
wonderful
much.
experience.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
Shannon.
you, Gaia. Gaia is
All
my
the
daughter
time.
here. Thank you. Gaia was working on this behind the scenes too. So
And thank you, Gaia.
Thank you, Gaia.
thank you all. Good night. And we'll see you
Good
Tuesday.
night.
We'll send you an email. We'll see you Tuesday. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so
That's
much.
great.
Bye.
Very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.